Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a make for my I Saw It on Pinterest series. If you are new here and not familiar with this series, every week I do a video where I find an inspiration piece on Pinterest and recreate that. And usually I make a few little tweaks and changes and try to adapt it into something to use in my own journals. So today, the tag that I want to do was created by Vintage with Laces, and it's actually Vintage W. Laces, and she has made this fabric tag, and I just thought it was so cute, and it's going to go really well with my January design team project for Sweet Pea Curiosities. Sorry, I had something go through my brain and it was like I totally lost my train of thought. So I am going to go ahead and make this tag, and then I'm going to put it in my stash so when I start that January project, I'll already have this piece of ephemera that I can use in that particular journal. So I pulled out, now I am not going to use a fabric base, and I am not going to do any sewing. So that's going to be the first difference between this particular pen and what I'm doing. The layout is going to be kind of the same. I have tweaked it a little bit as far as what I want to include on the tag. But other than that, it's pretty much going to have a very similar look to this one because I really like it and I think it's going to fit well in my journal. So I'm going to move this over to the side so we can get our tag made and get started. I hope everyone is having a good weekend. I am late filming this video. I normally do this on Thursday, but it is the holidays, and so I am running behind on everything. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some coffee dyed paper, and I'm going to back that with some book page, and then another piece of coffee dyed paper to make a tag. And that is going to be simply just to reinforce it. You can use cardstock, or you can use, you know, whatever you want to make your tag. I just wanted to get rid of some little scrappy pieces, so this is how I'm going to do it. So I think I'm going to glue everything together first and then decide what size. Actually, I may. No, I'm going to do it like this. I can't decide what I'm going to do. Do I want to do it like this? Is that going to be big enough? That may be big enough. So let's glue this on here and then fold it in half, and I think that should be sturdy enough. Do you think I had enough problems figuring out what I was doing there? So is everyone ready for the holiday week coming up? I have not wrapped one single present. That's what I plan on doing this afternoon after I get my videos made. I have everything, which is good, but they're just all setting, waiting to be wrapped. And like I said, I'm just doing this to make this a thicker tag. If you want to use cardstock or whatever, then please feel free to do that. Okay, now we'll glue this together. We should have something that's thick enough. Let me get my little squisher here, and we'll give it a nice squish. And this is actually the tool that is made to clean your glass mat, but it makes a really good press to make sure you have everything glued down. It's got enough weight on it that it makes it really nice and flat and gets all the bubbles out. Okay, so now I'm going to take my trimmer and cut this down. And of course I have it covered up. Not too bad. I mean, it's not like a mess. I just had like my journal and stuff sitting on top of it, so it could be a lot worse, especially this time of year with so much stuff going on. Okay, we're gonna give ourselves nice square edges to begin with. Okay, let's stick this one down here, and then we will do our little angles and cut our hole in the top. Still a little off. Didn't move it over enough. And again, if you want to measure this and come up with a certain size tag, you can do that, of course. I'm just kind of eyeballing everything. Because I don't have a particular pocket or anything right now that it's going to go in. Okay. So there's our base. Now what we want to do is create the background, and I'm not going to cut my little angles or poke my hole until I have the whole thing together. So what I have for that is I have this digital that has this really cool writing on it, and I'm going to put that on here. And you can see I've already tore some of this off and used it in something else. Alright, so I'm going to glue this on. And that's why I just did, the tea-dyed paper and the book page, because I knew I was going to have this layer on there as well. So that's even another layer of paper. And this is the layer that I think she used like a stamped fabric on. I mean, I think her whole tag is fabric from what I read in the article. I just think this is a cute, neutral little tag that could really go in any journal with just a few minor alterations, you know, for it to fit your journal. And I love finding makes like that because, you know, sometimes you may be making ephemera ahead and you have no idea what kind of journal you're gonna make. So good neutral stuff is always handy. Now this is actual handwriting. It's not a digital, it's an original. And it's from my German autograph book that I got at a flea market in Germany. And you see it's got all this wonderful writing in it. And it's all from 1923 and 1924. And so I'm going to take a couple of pieces of this particular one because I thought the writing was small enough that that it would look really nice. And so she's got a piece of handwritten stuff at the top and then at the bottom, and it's a different color. And I do feel like this part on hers is paper. I may be wrong. So I'm gonna tear, and this paper, to be so old, is actually in very, very good condition. It's not brittle like a lot of older paper is. Alright, and then I'm going to cut here because it's going along that straight edge. Okay, and then this is going to be wide enough to put at the top. Yeah. So then I'm going to tear this particular signature. For the top. To go, and I'm gonna move it down enough to where you know, when I cut the angles, and actually I can do that before I put this piece on, so I know I get it in the right spot. So let's do that. And excuse the reach. Get my hole punch here. Didn't quite get all that. There we go. Alright, so now I can put my hole reinforcer on there, and hers does not have a hole reinforcer, and I'm assuming because it's fabric, or maybe she just doesn't use them, but I am gonna put one on mine. since mine's paper, I don't want to, when I put the crinkled seam binding in the top, I don't want it to rip. My hole. Okay, and I'm gonna ink all the way around it, and I'm gonna use a darker color, I think. Let's do Gathered Twigs. Okay, let's do the back as well. And let's ink around our little 2 pages here, even though I know this one is too long and I'm going to end up inking one of the edges again. But we'll go ahead and do it all the way around because I'm not sure which way I want to go with it yet. I'm going to go to the left or right. It's just one more edge, right? And then this one, I want to make sure and get enough. I'm going to tear it right here. It's still going to be a little long, but okay, so let's glue those on. We'll come down, see, I'm already ripping. All right, so if we put that piece there, good sec, it's right in front of me. I think I may wrap that around because that'll give that back kind of a cool look, and still have room to write on the back of it if you want to. Trim that little bitty piece off right there. Put some ink on there. Okay, now let's put this piece up here, right under the hole reinforcer. And again, I'm just going to wrap it around. I might need to put some glue on there if you're going to wrap it around. Okay, so there is our tag. Now we can add our little top embellishment. She had a little fabric heart with a button, some cheesecloth, and she stitched inside the heart, and then this is also fabric, and I think that love is stamped. So I have some cheesecloth, which we can separate that out a little bit and put some back there. And then I have a piece of cutter quilt. That's an old quilt that I bought at a estate sale, I think. But it was really, really damaged. And so it's really not, you can't use it as a quilt. For sure. And so, but I loved it so much, and it was hand stitched, and my grandmother was a quilter, and so I can't hardly pass one up, even if it's, you know, in horrible condition. And then this is the backing of the quilt, where I pulled out the, you know, the middle part so that I could use it in my journals and stuff. So this is the actual backing that was on it. And then this little heart is actually a rub-on. And I will show you. I'm not sure who they're by. They were in my stash, but they're all kinds of little faux stitching. And you can see there's several hearts and stitches and some slow stitching and stuff. So I just rubbed it on there, and I think it looks, I mean, unless you feel it, touch it, you're not gonna know that it's not stitching, because when you look at it, it looks just like real stitching. So I'm gonna put that on there, and then I had, and I bet I knocked it in the floor, and I may never find it, but I had the word love from the Tim Holtz words. Oh my goodness, I bet I'll never find it. I'm lucky. Oh, I did. I'm shocked. And again, this is just from the Tim Holtz Sentiment little stickers. So I'm going to glue that on there. And then I'm going to use this color button, which is kind of a grayish color. And then I'm going to use this color crinkled seam binding, because it matches my heart that I've cut out. So that's what mine's going to look like. My question to myself is, and I think I've just answered it, I was trying to debate on what color thread to put in my button, but I think I want to use kind of a gray. No, a blue would be good, but do I have a blue? I mean, I'm sure I have a blue, but I'm trying to figure out, do I have a blue over here? Instead of having to go through my thread jar. Or I could use a black, since that is black. Do I have a black over here? I have a beigey color. And actually, that would go. Let me just use this. Actually, I may have some of that on a thread already. I mean, a needle. But I'm not sure this needle will go through here. And all I care about doing is just getting, yeah, it will, some thread in these holes. I'm not worried about actually sewing it onto there. I just wanted something in the holes. So technically I don't think this is sewing. I said no sewing at the beginning, but I don't think putting a piece of thread through a button sewing, is it? If I don't sew it to anything. I'm just going to run it through there a couple times so you can just kind of see there's thread in there. Okay. Yep, that'll work. Okay, so let's glue all that down. We'll use Fabri-Tac, even though I really don't want to get it all over me, and it seems like I always do. I don't like it because it sticks to your fingernails, and you can see it's already taken a lot of mine out. Sticks to your fingernail polish, and it eats the fingernail polish off. Which is really irritating. Okay, and then we're going to put down our little quilt art. Oh, come on, glue. I need to put some, refill my bottle here, so I'm not struggling with it so much. Nothing. There we go. That's how I end up getting it all over me, because it won't come out, and then I'm picking at it. Trying to get it to put glue on the whatever I'm gluing. Okay, so this one will go down. Then this one yeah, I think I paid about $10 for that quilt. And it's, you know, a big one. It just is just beyond saving. So I'm saving it by putting it in my journal or journals. It would make really cute covers too for journals. I'm trying to spread this cheesecloth out a little bit. I don't like that it's so regular. I think I'll trim that off right there. I feel like it's too much. Okay, now let's glue our button on. Come on, glue. Cooperate. Okay. Let's glue this right down here. And I'm going to leave those strings. I'm not going to leave them quite that long. Give that a good squish. Make sure it gets the glue all the way through there. I need to ink the bottom here. Let me put the top on this. I don't need any more difficulties out of that glue than I haven't already. Okay, and then we're gonna put our little piece of seam binding here at the top. And I think this one will be done. A little long, and then I'm gonna ink that just ever so slightly so it doesn't look so new, and pull at the ends a little bit so that they're frayed. So there we go. That's a cute little card, and I think you could do like a little, like if you took the quilt, which I've got a piece here somewhere. Like here's a piece of the quilt. You can make a pocket. How cute would that be? That'd be adorable. Like you could, you know, make your pocket to put it in. Yep, too cute. So there you go. I hope you like that. And again, thanks to our inspiration, what am I trying to say, guys? Our pinner who inspired this week's pin. And again, it is Julia from Vintage W. Lace. Really cute. And the person that actually posted it has a blog spot. It's called Marie-lostbirdstudio.blogspot.com, and I guess Julia made this tag for her and sent it to her in a Happy Mail. So she posted it on her blog, and it's really cute. And Vintage with Laces, if you click on that, oh, well, we won't do all that, but so yeah, really cute. Check her out. Check out the blog spot. It has really cute stuff on it from just the few things that I've looked at, and I hope you give this a try. I love the texture of it. It's not too terribly thick, even with the button on it, so yeah, good make. Thank you, Julia, and I will see you guys back tomorrow for the Ephemeral Ember for the Monday prompt. Until then, everybody have a good evening. Bye.